Hi, my name is David Labouchin, and in brief, I'm an alchemist, a 21st century alchemist. I'm also a synthesist. I synthesize East and West, ancient and modern, new and the old, physics and metaphysics. What do I mean by alchemy? It means I work with energy. I transmute matter into energy, energy into matter. I also work on refining energy. It's not about changing lead into gold. It's about changing physic into spirit, energy into Shen, wisdom. Talking about energy, what is this stuff called bioenergy? Well, it goes under a number of different names. In the East, it's referred to as chi or ki. In the Hindu systems, they call it prana. In Jewish terminology, it's ruah. The Greeks used to call it pneuma. It goes by a number of different names. But what is it? It's two things. It's the fuel that drives life. But more than just the fuel that drives life, it is actually the matrix that creates life and creates matter as well. As such, where there's energy, there's a field. What I'm talking about here is the biofield. So what is a biofield? Ask a fish what water is. It should know. It lives in that medium, it swims around in it. But to a fish, water doesn't exist, it is blind to it. And it is the same with humanity. We swim, we dance, we prance, we work in this thing called a biofield. And yet, largely, we are blind to it. So, science seeks to clarify the matter for us. First, it wonders whether bioenergy and biofield really exist aside from the flow of electrons or physiological energy. Science is an objective pursuit. It requires objectivity in order to determine things, to see how they behave. The catch is this: we live in a biofield, you generate a biofield. In other words, it is subjective. So straight away, we've got a problem. Well, science has got a problem. We don't. So I've talked about the physical aspects. What about the metaphysical aspects? Okay, what is a bioenergy? What's a biofield? Several thousand years ago, way in the dim distant past, we evolved particular descriptions of what bioenergy is, how it behaves, what the field is. And those models, and primarily the ones that came out of Asia, are the predominant models. We've come to accept aspects of that as being true. Why? Why do doctors use acupuncture? They can't validate it, but they see that it works. Okay, good. But those models were evolved several thousand years ago, and they haven't changed. We've come to accept them as the ultimate unshakable truth, and it's not like that. Imagine this. For example, on the science side, we have physics. And in physics, we started out with 4 elements. We grew a bit more sophisticated. The Chinese went, oh no, there's 5 elements. 1,000 years later, we went, just actually, there's quite a lot of elements. And out of that, we evolved the periodic table. All of a sudden, we have 100 and something elements. In modern times, the lid is totally blown off it, thanks to quantum physics. We don't know how many elementary, elemental, sub-elemental particles there are. In fact, the whole concept becomes nonsensical. Now let's look on the ancient side. We're still stuck there. Still stuck in the past models. And there's been very little growth from it. Oh yes, there's been an outpouring of various alternate New Age ideas and such. Most of them insubstantial. And that brings us back to me. Not just me and my partner. We work together in the biofield with bioenergies. We explore them. We seek to understand and elucidate the behaviour, the nature of bioenergy and the biofields. But we're not content just to play with it or work with it. It's the practical application. So we plug it in. How? We utilize bioenergies to influence the world around us, not just merely to swim. And the first step in that is from the aspect of health, assisting people with their health concerns, then assisting them with their well-being concerns, and then getting beyond health and well-being, looking at our growth, looking at our evolution. How do we do this? First, we have to be able to sense the field. And you're probably wondering how. What instruments we use. We use the instruments that heaven bestowed on us. The most sensitive, creative instrument in the history of history. And I'm talking about the human hand. Through our hands, we can sense very powerfully. Oh yes, we have all our other senses as well, beyond just the standard 5 traditional senses, but we have those as well. However, when it comes to directly receiving and transmitting information, the hand is the most powerful tool of all. Why do you think we stopped swinging from the trees and developed the opposable thumb? It wasn't just mechanical. So, we sense energy through our hands and our other sense organs. But just a minute. To be able to sense, you have to be able to get a clear signal. If internally you're noisy, or if the field is noisy, then signal to noise ratio is appalling, and all you're picking up is noise and not much signal. If you are internally noisy, when you attempt to pick up a signal, what are you mostly hearing? Your own noise, your own signal. The idea about assisting other people with health is not about mistaking your symptoms for theirs. So that's the first stage, sensing. Second stage, how do you transmit bioenergy? How do we influence a biofield? Again, it's the same story. You have to cultivate your energy. You have to be able to purify it. You have to have a strong source of it. And you have to be able to focus it. Like a laser, if you like. How does all this happen? It doesn't just happen. Yes, we have a gift. Guess what? Everybody's got it. To greater and lesser degrees. The thing with the gift, the thing with the talent, is you develop it through practice, through guided practice, not mindless practice, which means developing all of your senses, your ability to focus. It comes down to your power. But it goes beyond that again. Why? Yes, there are any number of gifted healers out there who can lay hands on people or who can broadcast energy from a distance. and affect people's health. Look, that's old stuff. That's the old model. The doctor-patient relationship. You just sit there, I'll do it to you. Okay, and so that other person can do it to you for a while. That doesn't mean that has a lasting effect. That's the first thing. Secondly, this is about empowerment. Not just pushing somebody else's pressure points and throwing all of the right switches. Because with time, all of those switches will revert. No, this is an educative process. Training other people to be sensitive to their energy, to be able to develop it, store it, circulate it, refine it. First to harmonize themselves, and then to harmonize the world around them. If you're in a mess, I'm sorry, you can't fix up the world. You're just going to mess it up further. And this is what we do. This is the crux of our training as far as the rest of the world is concerned. We don't just do it to people. We don't just do it to you. No. We train you to be aware of, to be sensitive to develop that energy. First, for your own benefit, to get your act together, and then secondly, to fix the world, to make the world a better place. Because we're not here just to retire into our own secluded meditative bubble state of meditation where we're fine and the rest of the world's not. No. This is about giving and taking. This is about, and the name of the method is Kinergetics or Kinergy. Thank you.